This is what the RE5 Remake could look like. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I decided to download one of the hardest and scariest Resident Evil 5 mods ever made. It's formerly known as Resident Evil 5 Night Terror. This mod completely changes the game in every aspect. The atmosphere and level design has been entirely reworked. Enemy spawns have been revamped. The mod also adds save rooms to the game, and so much more. Today, I decided to play through this entire mod, which at the moment only features the first 3 chapters of the game. But when I tell you that this mod gets intense, it gets intense. Now, you guys may be asking, how hard is this mod exactly? Oh my god, dude, come on. How different does it feel from the main game? Is it scarier than the original Resident Evil 5? What are they gonna spawn? What? And most importantly, is it better than the original RE5? Well, there's only one way to find out. So right off the bat, we start off the game just like we do in the original RE5. But things this time around seem a little more unsettling. We make our way to the weapons dealer, get our weapons, and then move on. After Chris and Sheva take care of the dogs, they make their way past the first executioner and run into their first villager that they have to take down. But something seems different about this first encounter. Why do I hear a chainsaw? Why do I hear a chainsaw? After picking up the ladder and making their way up, they run into the first chainsaw Mahini. Now this area isn't too bad. You have to search all of the chests until you find the key, jump down, open the door, and grab the shotgun in the corner, and then jump out the window. Woo! Hopefully that's the worst of it, right? Wrong. The cutscene gets triggered where all of the villagers are after Chris and Sheva, but this time around, you can't run away. You have to stay and fight hordes of these enemies until the executioner breaks through the wall next to you. The duo make their way to safety, and whew, thank God, we're safe now. And this mod also features some pretty interesting bugs, which actually look kind of cool. After making your way underground and being chased by the executioner, you make your way to your first ever save room.
Sheva.
Okay.
So once Chris and Sheva exit the save room, they run into this little capsule thing. Basically, when you open these, and you'll see these all throughout the mod, they make your next encounter much harder. For example, in this area, when Chris and Sheva opened this little capsule, it triggered this enemy, which is basically the chainsaw Mahini with the executioner axe. After hopping on the turret to take down this executioner, Chris and Sheva make their way to arguably one of the hardest parts about this mod. At first, it starts off normal. You're just fighting regular villagers. But after about 10 to 25 seconds, a chainsaw Mahini shows up. Just like in the original game, you have to run around and survive and wait for the executioner to show up. But unfortunately, you don't just have to fight one, you gotta fight 3 of them. They had the audacity to spawn 3 executioners and 2 chainsaw Mahinis. Really? And by this point, I thought this was the worst that the mod could offer. I was like, how much worse could it possibly get? And boy, I was wrong. So we make our way through the village and fight a lot more enemies. And then the cutscene with the girl in the black dress is triggered. Except this time, she is not the normal enemy that you fight in the original game. For some reason, the modders thought it was funny to turn her into basically a clone of Wesker. But in all honesty, this area isn't too bad. You fight a bunch of villagers and oh cool, another chainsaw Mahini. Fun. Are you joking? After taking down the chainsaw Mahini and then picking up the key, we can now make our way back to the next save room, where you get a bunch of ammo, another key, and another shotgun. Anyway, we take our key back to the other door that was locked, and we make our way to the next area. Now, this next area can't be that bad, right? What? So you remember the arms dealer, the guy in the original game that got, well, yeah, you know. Well, in this mod, he actually gets turned into an enemy that you have to fight. So yeah, basically Chris and Sheva have to make their way through this, not really a maze, but kind of a maze, where you both have to work together to open these doors while this new chainsaw guy is chasing after you. So when you make your way through this area and get to the elevator, well, you're not done because he's still chasing you. And now we have made it to our first official boss fight. How much worse could it get? What are they gonna spawn? What? Why are you crouching? Look at Sheva's AI. She's just sitting there. What was Sheva still doing in there? Bro, there's no way you were still in there. Normally, I never die on this boss, and I'm not joking when I say that, but for some reason, Sheva's AI did not want to work with me. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It got to a point where I was so done just looping around this map and Sheva's AI just not working with me. I just took the easy way out and bought a rocket launcher. Yeah, whatever. Shame me, okay? All jokes aside, once you take down the Ouroboros boss, guess who shows up? Well, that's one way to do it. Ah! What are you doing here? All you gotta do is run past her and make it to the next area, and now we are in the next chapter. Why is there a machine? I don't like this. Why is there a machine gun? Why? It followed. Once again, the modders, they think they're pretty funny because they spawn another Ouroboros boss in this room. We take on some more villagers and go through this little area, but then this guy's back. The weapons dealer with the chainsaw chases us around. So we fought off a bunch of enemies, looped this guy around, and then the truck shows up and takes him down. Woo! Thank God he's gone. Right, guys? We push on and make our way underground, and guess what, man? Like, we just don't get a break because the executioner shows up and he chases you in this tiny little corridor, and you end up in this room. Now, if you're smart, you'll actually shoot the barrels before you go in the room, and then you have to push this thing so you block off all the other enemies, and whoo, we're finally safe. We make our way to the surface, we get the key, and then we just speed run past this entire area. And now we're about to do one of the least hardest fights in the game. We fight some villagers, make our way past this area to go and fight the Chainsaw Mahini. Except this time you have to fight two of them. Wait, there's two of them? I just now noticed. Sheva, get out the way, bro. You take him down, you pick up the key, and now we're about to fight probably one of the coolest boss fights in this entire mod.
What the? Something's coming. Watch out!
So you find a rocket launcher and there's a bunch of rockets lying all over the ground. So you can use those to your advantage. There's also explosive barrels that you can use. And this boss fight has two phases. The first phase, he functions like a normal executioner, except he runs faster. Or sorry, he speed walks faster. And during his second phase, he gets even faster and more aggressive. So if you're not careful like I was, well then, you know. So after taking down the executioner and thinking that this is one of the creepiest parts in the mod, once again, I was wrong. You guys aren't ready for what's next. Trust me. So we make our way through the train area, but instead of dogs, we fight lickers. And once again, Sheva's AI doing what it does best. This is a sped up clip and you can see, look, she's just, I don't know what she's doing. Oh, and hey, there's a giant licker just chilling here. Oh wow, that's not scary at all. After Sheva's AI decided to stop being stupid, we finally make our way underground. And this is where things get crazy. All right, Sheva, let's go see what's over here. What? Is that a giant spider? Yeah, so there's a giant spider, but don't be scared, it's not gonna hurt you. So we make our way through this underground area, but once again, the chainsaw guy shows up. But luckily, there's a grenade launcher right here that you can use to take him down. And all you gotta do is stun lock him. He can't get close to you as long as you keep hitting him. So just like the executioner, once and for all, we finally take down the chainsaw guy, so we don't have to worry about him coming back. Hopefully. Wink, wink. We make our way outside, find an executioner, some more chainsaw people. Sheva ends up dying a few times because, well, you know, Sheva's AI. And now we're about to fight the Popo Karimu? I probably just butchered that name. But if you look here, there's another little tomb thingy. So because I like my games challenging, I decided to open it.
It's a new type of BOW. I'll bet dollars to donuts Irving's behind this.
Me and Sheva kill all of these bug enemies, and then we make our way to the truck section where we have to use turrets to take down the villagers. Now, this part is actually really cool, and you guys are gonna want to see this. So unlike the original game where you were in the truck the entire time, in this mod, the modder actually made it to where during certain sequences, you're actually put on foot. And my God, I don't know why, but I struggled with this part for some reason. But this is how I did it. After taking down the Executioner and then the Chainsaw Mahini, we can now go and fight the Giant, or should I say, the Giants. Chris and Sheva finally take down the two giants, the cutscene triggers, and we can now move on to the marshlands. Probably one of the most annoying parts in this mod. And this is where the rage starts to kick in. Seriously, if you thought that first chapter was bad, I'm not even kidding you. This is like... it gets so chaotic from here on out. So we make it to the marshlands, and as usual, we need to take the boat to go around to the different islands. So me and Sheva make it to the first island, and it's not so bad. We run past the enemies, we pick up the key, and we go back to the boat. Pretty easy stuff. We get back on the boat, Sheva runs out of ammo, so we can't do anything, but oh, wow, we got lucky. There was some ammo chilling right there for some reason. Oh, but cool. We die anyway. So we go to the second island, and this is the worst island in this area, and I'm not even kidding. So after finally making it through that area, we make it to this area. But you get a bunch of ammo, you do this little puzzle thing, whatever, you get the key. We finally get all the keys and make it to the next area, which, truth be told, isn't that bad. I know, shocker, finally, we can catch a break. And these last two chapters, I am telling you right now, I wanted to rip my hair out. And here's why. So we fight a bunch of enemies, hop on the raft, and open the door. And for some reason, this guy is back. But thankfully, you don't have to fight him. So we make our way to the... what the... yeah, I don't know how the modders were able to do this, but if you open the capsule, Irving spawns right next to you. And I thought you had to fight him, but he actually fights by your side. This entire section is the second worst part in the game. I'm not overreacting. You're probably like, wait, what's the worst part in the game? Oh, we haven't even gotten to it yet. But yeah, this is the second worst part in the game. We have to fight an Executioner. We have to fight like 3 or 4 Chainsaw Mahinis and a bunch of these enemies at the same time. And some of the corridors are blocked off. Yeah, fun, right? Oh my god, dude, come on. Dude, stop with the crossbow. Whoever designed this... dude, with the crossbow. Actually, we might as well kill him. Stop shooting me, dude. So after turning the valves a million times, Sheva dying a million times, we finally make it past the area. Woo, we are done. No way it could get worse than that. We went through that beginning part. We went through that part right there. We fought all of those bosses like the Executioner and the Giants and the Chainsaw guy. How much worse could it get? There's no way it could get much worse, right? Oh my god. Yeah, welcome to the worst part of the game, ladies and gentlemen. Dude, it's not the crossbows. So in this area, you have to defend Josh, which doesn't seem that bad, but for some reason they spawn this giant Chainsaw Mahini guy with the Executioner axe, and Josh dies in one hit if he gets hit by him. There's also barrels in the room, so if you accidentally shoot those, you could blow everybody up. Well, at least if you're next to them. So we fight off all these different enemies, and honestly, it wasn't too bad. Sheva gets knocked out as usual. Can't say I'm surprised. And then this lady shows up. Oh my lord. Yeah, this part, pretty stressful. After Josh finally opens the door, we make it to the next area, which really isn't that bad. The only difference is they spawn another Chainsaw Mahini. So, just like the main game, just run past all of these enemies and boom, you're safe. After running through all of these different areas with Sheva, taking down the guys in the turrets, we finally make it to the final area where we have to fight Irving. But my god, quick time event galore. I don't even know what's going on, dude. So the difference with Irving's boss fight in this mod is they spawn an extra turret in the back. Now, why would they spawn one here? Well, because they thought it was funny to spawn one of these bug enemies while you're fighting Irving at the same time. They also spawn a bunch of these small bug enemies, which get annoying and you have to deal with a bunch of them. But we finally take Irving down, and that is where we end the mod. So as I said before, this mod only features the first 3 chapters. And as I said, not a lot of people seem to know about this mod, at least in the bigger YouTube community. And it's been a while since our last update to this mod, so I don't know if it's canceled, but man, I hope not, because I really enjoyed this mod. But of course, if you want to experience this mod for yourself, the link will be in the description. My Twitter and my Discord will also be in the description, so be sure to check those out. Drop a like on this video if you guys enjoyed and want to see more mod videos or gameplay videos. And of course, subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and as always, I will catch you all in the next one.